Okay, we're going to look at utilizing the Canvas new quizzes. The first thing that you want to do is go to Settings and then come over here to Feature Previews and make sure that New Quizzes is turned on, which mine is not. So I'm going to enable it. And then I'm going to come over to the Quizzes tab and I'm going to create a new quiz. When I do that, I get this new dialog box. I'm going to click on New Quizzes. Now, if you've not had any old quizzes, if you're new to Canvas this year, you might want to go on ahead, select New Quizzes, and then click this guy right here, and you won't see this anymore. So I'm going to hit Submit, and it brings you to this first page where I'm going to say Demo New Quizzes Test. I'm going to make it worth 100 points. I'm going to create an assignment group for first 6 weeks so that I can organize my content by 6 weeks. Now, notice this is an assignment group, and we find assignment groups under assignments. But one of the things that Canvas recognized was teachers were saying they still wanted their quizzes under the quiz tab. So you'll be able to see it there as well. Okay, so this is an external tool, so we're not going to mess with that. We're going to assign it to everybody. I'm not going to put a due date on it because I'm still wanting to edit it. So I'm going to come down here to the Build tab. Here's where I'll be able to give explicit instructions. Instructions go here, and you can add a graphic, you can add or insert media. So it is a limited but still has quite a few options, rich text editor. And I'm going to click Done. Then I'm going to click the plus sign, and here's where I can add all of the different question types. So I'm going to do a multiple choice, and right here where it says question title, that is not the question stem, which we see right down here. This is like for categorizing your questions. I'm going to just leave this blank, and I'm going to type add question here. Then I'm just going to put down answers 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to select number 3 as the correct answer. Now I have the ability for each answer choice to add feedback there by clicking this little guy, or I can add feedback to the whole question by clicking here. So maybe, especially if it's like a math question, if they get the incorrect answer, you might put a link to a video or something for them to watch so that they can figure out how to do it correctly, and then allow them to go back in and redo the test. Here are some quick options. The cool thing about new quizzes is you don't have to worry about assigning points per question if all of the questions are going to be worth the same number of points. Here is where you would align to outcomes, which is adding your TEKS. That's a whole nother video on how to add TEKS to your Canvas. You can add a bank of questions and tell Canvas how many of those questions you want them to build a test from. Then you're going to go ahead and click Done. And then if you want to preview it, you would preview it from up here. This is what it will look like for the student. So it does have a much cleaner look to it. Also within the Build menu, you have some tabs up here. This is really, in this Build menu, is really where the heart of the question or quiz building occurs. So here you have quite a few settings that you can shuffle questions, you can shuffle answers, You can have only one question appear at a time while the students are taking the test. You can require them to add a student access code that you would present at the beginning of the test. You can set a time limit, which is great for like a little exit ticket or something short. You can allow a calculator. You can allow multiple attempts, and you can restrict their results views. Under the reports, this would be if you added any TEKS to your questions, you would see an analysis of that. And here is where you access the moderate. So nobody's taken this, but you would have a list of everybody that's taken the test and be able to extend their time, allow them to retake, lots of different options under the moderate. Once you hit return, it takes you back to where you can find the quiz and be able to go back in and edit. Notice that when I go back in and edit from this way, it takes me straight to that first window. And once I have kind of built it out a little bit and I come back in, I now have the opportunity to add a rubric or build a rubric for the quiz. So depending on what the quiz is, you may actually want a rubric to help give feedback or assess on this test. But we're going to go back into the build because I have one more item that I want to show you. When you come back into the build menu and you click on the 3 dots, you now have the ability to print this quiz. But if you print the quiz, it must have the setting of showing one question at a time turned off. And if you do that, then you'll be able to print your quiz. If you have any questions about new quizzes, feel free to reach out to the iText.